What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another WNBA video. We have a 4-game slate here for today, Saturday, August 30th. Now, typically, if you're new to the channel, I would normally break down each of these games. I talk about which way that I was leaning as far as the points and the spread. Today, I do got to switch it up and do things a little bit differently, man. I don't have a lot of time, unfortunately. I've got a jam-packed weekend with a lot of things that I need to get accomplished. So we're going to go over our 4 favorite plays here today. And I have a play for each of these games. So we do have a little bit of something to talk about, and we will get into those. We're going to utilize Outlier to check out a lot of these plays here today. But before we do, let's go ahead and jump over there to the Guy Boston Sports website. That's where you're going to find all of my final plays at the end of the day. But we do need to go ahead and jump over there now and recap our plays from yesterday. Let's see what we put in. How that ended up going down. We put 3 plays in yesterday. We go 1 and 2 on the day. We took the Wings and the Dream, a total under 167.5. They crushing over in this one, man. We don't come close to that one. And I took the sides or the totals wrong on both the games yesterday, right? I leaned over for that Fever and Sparks game as well. That went way under the number. So just totally off on the totals there, unfortunately. Azrae Stevens over 9.5 points. That was a cash. And then we took the Sparks on the money line. Put this one in late, man. And I should have just stayed off of it, right? I went back and forth on it all day long. I said in the video, too, I'm not sure if I'm going to get there, but I'm leaning on the Sparks. They lose by 1 point. Frustrating, man. So 1 and 2 overall on the night. Obviously not ideal. Not the night that we were looking for, but we are still 10 and 3 over the last week. So not going to get too down about last night, man. You're going to have those up and downs, unfortunately. So thankfully we've had more ups than downs lately. Let's see if we can have another up here today in the Saturday afternoon. So one more thing before we dive into these plays, guys, smash that like button down there for me if you can. Hit subscribe if you have not already. Drop a comment too, man. Let me know your favorite play on the day. Now let's go ahead and jump into the mix. We're going to go ahead and jump over there to Outlier to check out this first play. First off, going to be looking at that Minnesota Lynx Connecticut Sun game. 7 p.m. tip-off time for that one. We're going to be looking at the Sun in the first half plus 8 points. Now, we can find that at Bet365 right now for minus 105 odds. Let's look at these two in their last 10 games. The Sun hitting that at a 100% hit rate. The Lynx, on the other hand, hitting that at a 20% rate, right? Only 2 out of their last 10 games. If we look at these two on the course of the season, it's been more of the same, right? Lynx only hitting this at a 26% rate over the course of the season. There's a whole lot of red X's over there, right? And if you look at the Sun, 63%, right? Whole lot of green check marks, right? And those are more recent. If we come, let's scroll on down. You know, they weren't covering this at the beginning of the year. This is back in early July. We're looking at late June here. This was a different Sun team at the beginning of the season. They were definitely playing much better basketball now. You can see since July 11th, only 2 times that they have not hit this mark. So we'd love to see that there. If you look at them at home as well, hitting this at a 67% rate, and then the Lynx on the road, 11%. And if we look at these two head-to-head, we could see that the Sun have actually hit this at a 70% rate dating back into last season. Now, looking at these two this year, right, 1 and 1 to this number. They kept that first head-to-head close, losing by only 6 points altogether. They were up by 10 points at the half. Now, they did lose the second meeting by 1,000,000 points altogether, right? They lost that first half by 24. They were down Marina Mabrey at the time, who was big in that first head-to-head. She had like 22 points in this game here. They were also down Layla Lacan, who has been a huge part of their recent success, man. A rookie standout, honestly, for the Sun. And if we jump over and look at the Sun in their last 10 games, they've won 4 of their last 6. They've covered in 7 in a row. If you look at these losses in their last 10 games as well, man, these aren't bad losses. A 2-point loss to the defending champions in New York, right? A 6-point loss to the Fever. They were leading in this game. They lost in overtime. The Fever have been surging, man. They're playing for playoff seeding as well. A loss to the Valkyries on the road. The Valkyries are tough at home, right? Now, this was a bad loss, obviously, a 17-point loss and only put 57 points up. But then, an 8-point loss in Vegas to the surging Aces. And then, another double-digit loss to the Sparks. But the Sparks have been playing good basketball as well, man. So it's not like they're losing to bad teams. It's not like they're getting annihilated in a lot of these games as well. And that, is evident in this covering record. 8 of their last 10 games that they have covered. So, yeah, the Sun are playing good basketball, man. And for whatever reason, the Lynx, they come to play in the second half, man. Following a loss, you'd expect Minnesota to come out with some fire, right? And they are coming into this one off of a loss. But they've trailed at the half in 3 of their last 4 games following a loss. So I'm going to go with the Sun here. I don't think the Sun are going to be winning at the half, but I definitely think they can keep it within 8 points. So that's going to be my first play that I'm looking at today. We'll jump back over to Outlier to look at the second one here. It's going to be Veronica Burton of the Valkyries, looking at that Mystics and Valkyries game tipping off at 8:30. We're looking at Veronica Burton, points and assists over 19.5. Get that for a good price right now, minus 110 over there at FanDuel and Hard Rock. If we look at her, right, first of all, let's go ahead and just peer on over here to the injuries, man. There's quite a bit on the Golden State Valkyrie side. We see Xana Lazini out, Monique Billings out, Kayla Thornton obviously out for the season. Tiffany Hayes and Carla Late are both game time decisions here. So you know, regardless of if they play or not, man, they are shorthanded. A lot's going to fall on Veronica, and she is already, she is up for the challenge. She's shown that multiple times this season. Look at her over the course of the season. These numbers don't look great, right? Only a 35% hit rate, 13 out of 37 games, averaging 17.68. So actually averaging underneath this mark, right? Well, if we look at her in her last 5 games, 60% hit rate, 3 out of 5, averaging 25.8 points and assists, well above that 19.5 where we need her to get. Now, what I really like though is head to head. Let's look at her head to head. Now, these 2 games are from last year when she was with the Sun, playing in a much different role, right? You can see her minutes are much lower there. 22 minutes. That was an overtime game as well. And then 20 minutes here. You can see, obviously, 29, 30, 35. She's now in that starting lineup, plays a huge role for the Valkyries here, and you can see it in the numbers, right? Head to head. Like I said, these are last season. Here's this season 27, 20, 37. So we're clear on that mark, man. She's averaging 22.2 points and assists, and that's over these 5 games, right? We break it down and look at her just in these last 3, and she's averaging 28 points of assists in those 3 games. So definitely love to see that, man. Valkyries also have a 4-day rest advantage, and they are at home where they tear it up. And then looking at Veronica head to head as well, let's scroll on down. Look at her 63% from the field against the Mystics, right? 74% from 3 in her last 5 games against Washington. And that's including these 2 games where she didn't even really play. You know what I mean? So just killing it. 55, 57, 77%, right? 75, 67, 67% from 3 in these 3 games, right? Just crushing it. So I like Veronica Burton in this one. Points and assists over 19.5, minus 110 at FanDuel and Hard Rock. The next up, going to be looking at Ariel Atkins of the Sky, checking out that Sky and Storm game. That tips off at 9 p.m. I'm looking at Ariel on her rebounds over 3.5. This one's juiced at minus 150. But if we look at 2025 alone, she's hitting this at a 58% rate, 18 out of 31 games, right? So I definitely like that. But if we look at this insight, we can see that she's hit this in 6 straight games now, averaging 5 rebounds in those games. So that's definitely nice. And then head to head, she's hit this at a 4 out of 5 rate, 80% 4 times in a row, hitting at 5 rebounds exactly. The Storm, they're allowing the second most rebounds per game in their last 5 games, 8th overall for the year. And then against that guard position, second to worst along the season. So definitely like this one here, man, for Ariel Atkins as the reason why it's juiced, minus 150. Oh, I'm seeing here, minus 135 on Hard Rock. I'm not sure why that's not popping up for me, man. I have Hard Rock marked on my outlier here. Yeah, not sure why that's not popping up, but that actually makes me feel a lot better, right? That minus 150 was super juiced. I was still going to play it most likely, but minus 135 feels a lot better, especially looking at this data down here and all that green. We definitely love to see that. Then our final play, looking at Alyssa Thomas. Now, this one is a little bit scary, right? That's a high number, over 34.5 for PRA. But man, this is Alyssa Thomas. She's in the MVP conversations for a reason, right? And this is going to be a huge game. The New York Liberty taking on the Phoenix Mercury. Now, this one is in Phoenix and is tipping off at 10 p.m., which I do think definitely plays into the Mercury's favor. I would be leaning their way on the side, just full record here. But man, this game is going to be close. It's going to be good, I feel like, because they're jockeying for playoff seeding right here, right? They're 4 and 5 right now in the standings. New York's, I think, a half game behind. So this one definitely has, major playoff implications. I think Alyssa Thomas comes to play, man. If we look at her on the course of the season, only hitting this at a 36% rate, right? 12 of 33 games. If we look at this insight from Outlier, she's failed to exceed this mark as well in 5 of her last 6 games. It says for top 5 defenses for rebounds allowed. It's got to be for the course of the season, man, because New York is giving up the most offensive rebounds and 4th most total rebounds per game in their last 5. So I'm not seeing where this top 5, and it says even over here, rebounds allowed, they're sitting at 6. So where's this top 5 defense for rebounds allowed? I'm not seeing it. But anyways, saying that she has, failed to exceed this mark in 5 of those last 6 games. But if we look at her head-to-head against the Liberty, right, this is last season. Why are we on the under? We don't want the under. Give me that over. We're looking over here. Yeah, there we go. All right, we got that switch back to where it needs to be. Now, this is last season with the Sun. She didn't clear this mark once. Now, with the Phoenix Mercury, she's crushing this number. 40, 41, 41. Man, we just need her to hit 35. So I'm definitely loving that. She has played some great games against the Liberty this season. I mean, 18 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, 17, 9, and 15. 20, 13, and 8. These are phenomenal numbers, damn near a triple-double in each of these games. And at -108, man, that is a great price. So I think it's definitely worth a risk here. Like I said, it does feel a little bit risky. That's a high number to get up and over, but she's shown us that she is capable of it. And like I said, man, having a great season. And they're gonna want to get out on the break, man, especially against this New York team. The issues that they've had defensively as of late. When Phoenix starts pushing the ball, man, they are hard to beat. And Alyssa Thomas, for being a forward, she's she's the point forward out there. She's usually running the break, and man, she runs it well. So definitely like this one. Like I said, over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Alyssa Thomas, -108 over there at FanDuel. So that is going to wrap it up, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video today. Hope you found the content helpful and useful. And if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you have not already. And that is going to wrap us up, man. Hope you guys all cash out and have yourselves a great Saturday. I'll see you back tomorrow for the next one.